they are ready to go off the line, and it's a good start for Ben Philipp, but also a great start for Vasily Gryzin. They have to go in to this chicane now. It's very tight. We've had a couple of cars roll here already this weekend, but all cars seem to be through. Just had to wait there for that car to get through, but it looks like a clean start.
Yeah, so far it's clean, and now it will be a big battle between the two first guys here. Ben Philipp and Vasily has been crash.
And that was Anders Michalak, unfortunately getting caught out there, being just basically a race incident, being pushed off the track a little bit, getting stuck there.
Yeah, that's a race incident. That's what happens during the first lap when everyone is really close. Now it's sorted out a little bit, and like I started to say, it will be a battle between the first two guys here. They have been the fastest during this weekend, I would say. So Ben Philipp has been quite dominant, and now I know Vasily wants to catch up and beat him in the semi-final.
Yeah, he certainly does. Vasily Gryzin then, who was just on an interview explaining how he's got several years behind a rally car and now also 3 years in the RX2 category and Nordic series of rallycross. The team that he races for is based here at this track, so he knows it very well. Takes a bit of advantage from that because there are many of the drivers here in all categories who haven't been to this track before.
Yeah, that's very true. So, and they say it's very hard to learn it. It's a lot of blank corners and very difficult technical. So, yeah, of course they have an advantage if you've been here before. You see a battle for third going on, the last spot for the final.
So here we have Jimmy Valfridsson into the Joker lap. The Joker lap runs parallel to the standard lap, both of which have a jump in them, so it's quite special. And in Supercar lights, the Joker lap takes about 3.2, 3.3 seconds extra, would you say?
Yeah, somewhere around there. So that's the gap, you know, and the spotters need to know when to take it, and that's the gap they need to look for.
So
looks
Ben,
like Gunderson have this under control so far.
He certainly does. And this track is known to be quite an abrasive track. It's hard on the tires. At this very moment, it's crawling up to 30 degrees out there. You know, how do you think they're handling that?
Yeah, it's of course the temperature, it's very hot, and also the gravel sections are very rough on the tires. It's almost like tarmac all the way around, and then this soft rallycross tires we have, they burn up, you can say. So it's a little bit about tire management.
So there is a little bit of a gap here between Ben Philipp and Vasily. I'm sure Vasily is getting a lot of talk on the radio to push, push, push. This is the last thing you'll be doing this weekend. Try and get a little bit closer to Ben Philipp, but Ben Philipp sure has been dominant all weekend here in Riga. This is his first time here, I believe, Ben Philipp?
Yeah, I believe so. And they have a quite big gap to third place, so you could say they are both secure to get into the final, but it's very important to get into the front row. The winner in the semi-final goes in the front row, and if you're second, you will be in second row, and that, I would say, cuts your chance of winning the final quite big. So it's still a battle for winning the semi-final, because it gives you a much, much better place for the final.
Would you say the two drivers at the front here, you know, perhaps they're conserving their tires a little bit for the final?
Yeah, I think if they have enough gap, like now Ben Philipp is quite clear in front, I don't think they push him too much. They say he can stay in his rhythm, he doesn't need to push the tires even more than he's already doing. But yeah, it's rallycross, it's 5 laps, and I think behind the wheel they will go full.
Yeah, we have a great battle here for the final position between Jimmy Valfridsson and Niklas Arneklev, and they are pushing each other almost off the track here to get that third position. It's only the top 3 finishers of this semi-final that go on to the final. So the battle is on between these two cars. They are the ones to watch. It's the final lap.
Yeah,
who's going to get it?
Just a couple of corners to fight for it. Maybe Jimmy had his chance there before they went into the...
And then we had Ben Philipp crossing the finish line with Vasily Gryzin behind him, and they are pushing so hard, these two, but it is going to go to Niklas Arneklev, who gets that final spot.
Yeah, Jimmy had a little try in the last corner, of course, last chance, but
he tried.
Arneklev was smart, yeah.
He certainly tried.
Kept it safe on the inside, and I believe his first final.
So we'll have a little look back at this first semi-final in Supercar lights, and it was a clean, smooth start from everybody, but Ben Philipp out in front, as he has been for most of this weekend, with local driver Vasily Gryzin just behind him. And it was a great fight between those two behind there again for the final position.
Yeah, Anders Michalak tried to get into the fight, and unfortunately there was no space available.
Oh, he certainly gave it a try though.
Yeah.
That's what's always great about rallycross, is that there is a lot of action, a lot of drama. You don't have many laps to do it in, so you just have to get on with it and try where you can. As we can see, this great battle between Niklas Arneklev and Jimmy Valfridsson, and the final place went to Arneklev.
Ben Philipp, you've been on great form so far this weekend. How was that for you?
It was feeling great, very great. I'm glad to have the best position in the final.
You had the local man right behind you in that race. It looked like it was a pretty close race between the two of you.
Yeah, I didn't thought that before the weekend. So Gryzin is very fast, and we was a bit behind on the lap times on the practice, but it went better through the weekend. So I'm very glad.
On to the final.
Yes.
So that's the first semi-final in Supercar lights, won by Ben Philipp Gundersen, followed by Vasily Gryzin and Niklas Arneklev in third. These three go on to the final.